The Terrible Warriors are coming to Con Bravo in 3 weeks' time. In the last weekend of July, we're having a live show. And that live show will be the last episode to the campaign you are currently listening to. The final episode of Apocalypse World, recorded live at Con Bravo. Get your tickets now at conbravo.com. And today on The Terrible Warriors, return to the Toronto crew, to the hardhold of Sanctuary. Anxiety runs high, and the people are running out of food. Our angel, our gunlugger, the savvy head, and the hardholder must work together to bring peace and security back to Sanctuary. The wolves are knocking at the doors. And here in the Apocalypse World, our players will discover that they are terrible warriors. Welcome back to Terrible Warriors. I am your master of ceremonies, Justin Eacock, and I have gathered together my apocalyptic terrible warriors here for our first story episode in Apocalypse World. This campaign is running in tandem with the Thursday campaign. They're also playing Apocalypse World, and the stories are right now completely independent. They were recorded separately from each other. We don't know what the Edmonton crew is doing in their game, but the final and fifth episode is going to be recorded in 3 weeks' time in Hamilton, Ontario at Con Bravo. That last episode will be recorded at a panel at the convention and then released the Tuesday after that weekend, or Thursday if it takes me a while to edit it. That's completely up to my players on how much they mess around.
Did he just sound like a reality TV show host? We've secluded them in another room.
Yes, exactly. We're going to
with Bengal Tiger.
So we're running Apocalypse World on both Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're recording the final episode at Con Bravo live at a panel where both the Thursday and Tuesday campaigns will somehow come together and be brought into the same story, and they will resolve together. Now, I already know that out of that campaign, only one player is coming along to Con Bravo. It'll be Shane Fitzgerald, and Derek the Bard will be co-DMing with me. So, depending on how that story plays out, either Shane's going to be the only survivor, or he's going to be an exile from the group who has to join up with us, or surprise, maybe a few people from Edmonton will at the last second get tickets and join along.
I'm just saying, we got the numbers. We should just gang up on Shane.
So it's going to be PvP live
in a nice
scene is made up of all
Terrible
the other
Warrior versus Terrible Warrior.
It's like a big Frankenstein.
It's the Terrible Warrior Civil War in 3 weeks' time, live at Con Bravo. So anyway, that's the plug. But right now we're still playing Apocalypse World. We got to get into the story. We have to reintroduce our characters. Sitting around the table, starting at my left, your right, we have tapping away on his phone.
Yes, well, I'm waiting for the intro. I'm Toronto's greatest supervillain and evil genius, Dr. Tarawat. Yeah, I just don't want to take the mic away from Tom. Today I am playing Emmanuel Goldman, a.k.a. Dr. Goldman.
And you're playing the Savvy Head.
The Savvy Head,
who's
that's right.
He's the tech in our group.
Sorry.
You got your workshop, you got your projects. We're going to touch base to find out what is the ongoing project, what's going on, because you got a couple of start of session moves that we need to do first. And then sitting right next to the Savvy Head, our gunlugger.
Hi, I'm Tom. He is an evil genius white from the show Weird Video Games on YouTube, and I'm playing Nelson, the very angry
Kenneth Rocky Nelson.
Don't call him Rocky.
Don't call him Rocky, the very angry, he's got a death wish. He's been leading a lot of trouble to Sanctuary. Can't say no to a fight. You got a trouble history, buddy. I have a feeling at some point one of these three players is going to be like, well, you're too much trouble. and you're going to be cast out.
Or be like, oh, Nelson.
And
90s TV sitcom freeze frame.
And coming into the spotlight, we have joining us as our hardholder, the leader of Sanctuary.
Hi. I'm Steve Saylor, or I'm known as Blind Gamer on YouTube. And yes, I am playing Simon Bishop, or otherwise known as Mother Superior. And I run the Hardhold of Sanctuary.
Hardhold of Sanctuary. And
yes.
Right next to him, the angel of our group.
Hello.
Hello.
How's it going, everybody? I'm Cassie D20 Lovechew, and I am indeed, yes, I am playing the angel. I am playing Magnolia Nurse Maggie Stone.
And we do have one other player who was with us in the last game. Bree is actually getting a tattoo right now. So as soon as that tattoo session is done, she's going to come over to the studio and she'll join us for the next episode.
She has grabbed an Uber.
She is playing our brainer, the brainer of Pity. And other than that, a truly mysterious character. And
She runs the confession booth, guys.
she's not going to be here for this episode. It's just going to be the four of you, and we'll reintroduce her in the next hour. Before we start the story, there was one last bit of character creation we neglected to do, and we were running a little late on time. I need to know, you've already figured out your histories and backstories with your character and how you all connect to each other. But the last step is to highlight the stats. First, starting with Goldman, who here has the highest history with the Savvy Head?
I've got 3.
Does anyone have more than 3 history?
No.
So you get to choose out of the 5 statistics, cool, hard, hot, sharp, and weird, which one you want to highlight and which one do you want to see, like, Connell play with the most in terms of those moves. If we want to go over again what the stats are mostly used for, hard stats are used for the strength. They're used for aggroing on somebody, attacking them. Where cool is your under fire stat. It's handling in battles. It's used a lot in battle moves and taking territory and losing territory. Your hot stat is your manipulation, your seduction, it's your attraction. It's everything that's used when you're negotiating with someone. That's your hot stat. Sharp is all your brains, your cunningness. Sharp is used for building things, for noticing things. And what's the big example they give? It's mostly used for reading a situation and reading people. So being able to know what's going on behind the scenes. But really knowing what's on behind the scenes is the weird stat. And that's everything to do with the psychic maelstrom that's at the corner of everyone's eyes. It's either what caused the apocalypse or the apocalypse caused it. All the weird rules, most of the brainer stuff, and anything that deals with the apocalypse in that sci-fi weird horror way is the weird stat. So that's a little catch up on what those stats are. You get to highlight one of those 5 for the Savvy Head because you know him the most.
Okay. I am thinking.
And we're going to do this every hour, so it's not like a final thing.
Right. Okay. I'm going to say I'm going to highlight cool.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm just going to have a look over. I'm going to look over your shoulder height. I'm going to give you sharp as the MC. Your highlighted stat will be sharp. It's also one of your higher stats, and it plays into a lot of what I think the Savvy Head, what you want to be doing as a electro tech guy. So
We'll see.
We'll see how that goes. And going over to the gunlugger, who knows the gunlugger the most?
I think I do.
How much is it?
If you don't count the experience points I got off it, I had a +4. Otherwise, I have a +1.
So you were at 4?
Yes.
And then it went down to a 1?
Yes.
And no one else ever got the 4. So yeah, absolutely. Before the level up, you do have the most history. I'll count that. So you get to highlight one of his stats.
So I'm conflicted between 2 because the character in me, if he's going to be part of my my colony.
What do you think of this? Sorry, because we're dealing with a level up of a history. I forgot to mention there's an optional rule at the back of the book that other playtest groups have done, that when a player levels up the history and it resets down to a 1, in the positive, that character takes the other character aside and tells them a secret about themselves. Is that something we're interested in possibly doing when those histories level up?
I think, maybe for the next hour.
We could just even right now, as you're deciding what the highlighted stat's going to be, Nelson, what is the secret that you tell the hardholder? Now, as the players will all know, but don't metagame, your characters don't know it. But it's something to add into the story, one of those asides.
Well, let's take care of this, and then we'll have a huddle when the others are talking, so we don't get away from
Steve, you have a hold. You can write that down, one hold, to get a secret from the gunlugger, and you can cash that in during the game.
Okay.
So that way you have it as like an item that you can use.
Okay. So yeah, I'm conflicted on what to do. As knowing that basically his character seems to be kind of very leaning towards hot, like he's always getting in trouble.
This is a meta decision.
This is a meta decision, but
this is you as a player.
But as a character, because I know his history, and because I know who he is, I would like to see him maybe cool off a bit. So I'm thinking of highlighting your cool stat to help you kind of calm down.
And
my hot is -2. So
I think you meant hard.
You meant the hard. You meant hard as in his battle
Hot-
stat.
hot is
is
how-
seduction, and
how- yeah.
hard is.
Oh,
going
sorry. Yes,
after
hard. That's what I
someone.
meant. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
okay. You're gonna highlight cool, Steve, and the Master of Ceremonies is gonna highlight hard.
Oh.
So basically,
So-
just kind of negated everything.
Does the highlight mean like an extra +1? or
No, it
something?
doesn't. It doesn't
Okay.
add to the stat.
Okay.
But every time you roll with a move that uses your highlight stat, every time, regardless of success or fail, you mark a bubble in your experience.
Really?
So it's an encouragement to use those stats and go in that direction. So it means if you've got that now, if you can use the other stats, nothing's
gonna
stopping you from
level
doing
up
those
so
moves.
much.
It just means you're not gonna get any experience in using those stats. It's done for the story, but not for your character to level up. There are a few other things like what Connell has. He can get experience also by people just following his advice. That has nothing to do with the statistics. That's the other way. There are certain moves that you can get experience, and as we already know, the third way to get experience is to increase your history with players.
Right.
So work with other players and earn more history by doing more moves together, and then that will level up as well, and you get experience that way. So those are the three ways to earn experience, as well as there's other things I can do as an MC that just throw experience into the pool.
Sure.
So to the hard holder, who knows Simon Bishop the most?
I've got 2.
Anyone have him higher than 2?
No.
Does Bree have higher than 2?
Doesn't matter. She's not here. Like I said,
okay.
we're going to do it again. In the
Yeah,
next episode.
Oh,
it
okay.
resets every
Okay.
hour.
So I want the players to look them in the eye when they pick. I don't want to do it in absent.
Okay.
Yeah. This is actually a good example here of also like an actual play group. Sometimes your player's not here, and so you just keep moving.
Yeah.
Cassie, what stat would you like to highlight on the hard holder?
Let's go. Okay, I'm thinking, Simon's the big boss. He's the guy that owns the place and has the people. So I want to see him, talking people up and making deals, and I want to see him.
His leadership move, if you're curious, uses his hard stat.
Okay.
When he's giving orders to the troops or to rally the people or to get people to put your back into it, that's a hard stat.
Okay. All right.
As well as
So-
his wealth is also hard. Most of his stuff as hard holder comes out of the hard stat.
Okay, so it's not, so if I wanted to see him be really good at socializing and getting his way, that way I'm not looking at his hot stat, I'm looking at his hard stat.
If you think of it, hard is asserting yourself, both
Yeah.
physically and socially, and
Sure.
giving
Yeah, yeah,
orders.
okay.
Where hot is like offering things, manipulating. I'll give you this for that, seducing someone.
yeah.
Right,
When,
okay.
when you roll to manipulate a player, you're not just trying to convince them to do what you want them to do, giving them an order. You're offering them something. You're either offering them sex, or you're offering them wealth, you're offering them power. That's manipulation. That's the hot stat. He doesn't have to do that because he's in charge.
Yeah.
He can do the hard stat, and he can just tell you what to do because this is his base, right? So that's
right.
that's the difference between the two.
Yeah, I want to see him push that, so let's go with hard.
Go with hard. And for you, I'm going to give sharp will be your other
Okay.
highlighted from the MC. And then finally, the angel. Who knows our angel the most? Who knows Maggie the most?
I have +2.
Anyone have 2?
No.
Anyone have higher than 2?
-1.
Not surprising, because the savvy head doesn't care about anyone that isn't his project or weird or a danger to him. So I'm not surprised he didn't get to pick any highlights. Go ahead, Gunlock. This is actually kind of neat because you're like the only friend you've got, so this works. What stat would you highlight from the angel?
I would say as a character thing, I would want to highlight hard for her because she's always
Yeah.
kind of the soft sort of giving person. And I feel like part of our friendship is I want her to be a tougher person. I want, I'm kind of like projecting
Grow a spine.
myself on her. I think this is kind of the nature of our relationship. We both want each other to be more like us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty accurate, I think. I
Yeah.
think so, yeah.
And so you'll highlight hard, and I will highlight sharp.
Okay.
And so there you go. So those are your highlight stats. So then again, if you use a move that uses those highlight stats, I can't keep track of it, but just let me know I'm using a highlight stat. Awesome. Or just keep marking. And whenever you hit the 5, we can do it in the game, or we can do it at the end of session where you then pick your improvement into your character. If it happens as quick as the gunlugger thinks it's going to happen with him, when you level up 5 times, you can then pick an advance move that's like you can like one of those advanced moves is actually retiring your character to permanent safety, or you go off into the sunset and you get your cabin in the woods. Not that cabin in the woods though, like the actual nice one. So we have the other bit of house cleaning to start the game now. After the highlights is your start of session moves that both the hardholder and the savvy head has. So hardholder, we'll start with you. You have to roll your wealth, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. If your hold is
10th.
secure, at the beginning of the session, you're going to roll hard. So go ahead and roll it now.
Okay. Both dice or just one dice?
And remember, we've been writing down what your hold is when it's in surplus or when it's in want. This is going to decide the starting status of Sanctuary. Are we in surplus or are we in want?
Give me a surplus. I need a surplus. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. No, so 4...
4 plus your hard stat.
Dang it, that's 6.
It's only a 6. So at a 6, it's a miss. On a miss, or if your hold is compromised or your rule is contested, your hold is in want. The precious values of your surplus and want depend on your holding. So what did we have when we wrote down into in the inside of your booklet under the wants?
Anxiety and idle.
So those two things represent the state of our place. I'm also going to add in, because of another threat that's going on right now, afraid. Which leads into the anxiety. A place, a hard hold that is going through, it's a deprivation move, I believe it is, that is dealing with the want of anxiety. I'll find it on the page here when I come across to it. Things are not great in Sanctuary, which isn't surprising. It's exactly where I hope.
Well, if it's my thing is, it's the old gang is that threat is looming, so it's kind of making people anxious.
Yep. Exactly.
So in this case, it's not like that they're like there's like rebellion around the corner.
No, that
but
happened
it's
last
just like
week
people
when
are
half your gang walked away.
Well, yeah, because they were idiots.
I see. They were idiots. I'm sure they.
I agree.
I'm sure exactly how that's how they. That's, I'm sure
They
that's
were
how
idiots.
They feel about it.
They had a safe haven and they squandered it.
Okay, Savvy Head, you have your workshop at the start of your session. I've lost your sheet that I had in front of me. Savvy Head. What did it say here? Oh, that's under Skinner. I'm looking under the wrong character. I'm like, why doesn't it say anything? Projects. During play, it's your job to have your character start and pursue projects. It can be any project you want, both long-term and short. Think up the project you're working on this very morning as play begins. And is there a start of session move? I don't see so. It just sort of goes on. So when you're in your workspace and dedicate yourself to making a thing or getting to the bottom of some shit, you decide what it is and tell the MC, and I will tell you, sure, no problem, but, and then pick 4 with ands or ors thrown into the mix, 1 to 4 of those questions that show up on your workspace sheet. I would like to start with at least one project where we do that at the start of the session. Where we do it every session, it'll be more like each session I'll just be checking in. Hey, Savvy, how's your project going?
Okay.
And again, the passage of time in this game is up to us.
It's in flux.
Well, I mean, one of the projects that I wrote down on the paper was building up the arm and leg. Or working on the maelstrom generator? Which one works better for you?
Well, both of those will be creating items that will end up with a custom move. And I feel like your arms and legs are your prosthetics, right? You want to just keep improving them on yourself.
What about the laser?
That's like your short-term goal.
Not on the list, unfortunately.
And your long-term is just the ongoing relic that you have from the golden age that's passed. So you what would you like to do to your arms and legs? What move would you like to add in? Because right now they don't do anything. They're just there to function as your missing limbs.
Well, I figured, I mean, it's a long shot, but I eventually wanted the robot arm to transform into a gun a la Barrett from Final Fantasy VII Advent Children.
You want a gun arm. So, sure. But the problem is, first you're going to need to get some heavy caliber weaponry, which you had on those battle vehicles before the old gang stole them.
Fuck.
If you can get the Gatling gun from those turrets, you might be able to use some of the material for your arm. But that's out in this old city ruins where the old gang took them.
Okay.
I mean, maybe there's others out in the world, but I mean, fuck. At least you know there's stuff there. And you're going to need some extra help when it comes to gunsmithing. You're going to need to find someone who can also, like, not blow you up in the process of attaching a gun to your arm. You're going to need an assistant. This is not something that... It's going to take 2 hands, and you're going to be removing one of your hands in the process.
There you go.
So you're going to need to find an assistant.
Okay.
And there's a new manufacturing system that opened up in town, so there's some engineers that have been brought in and hired, so maybe there's something there. And then the last bit, I'm going to pick a third one. I'm not going to do all 4, because that's just going to, like, push over. It's going to mean, because you're doing this to yourself, and we've already established in between episodes that this prosthetic is integrated into the meat of your arm.
Yep.
This is going to expose you to danger when you do this.
Okay.
So there is a chance this is going to blow up in your face.
Fuck.
So those are the three things I'm going to put in for your project of building a Barrett Wallace style gun arm, which is fucking awesome, and I want to see this happen. But you're going to have to earn for it.
Your prosthetics, are they like, or at least the damaged limbs, are they like gone, or are they just partially?
Oh, the limbs are gone.
Limbs are gone.
Like he's
okay.
fully missing his left arm.
Yeah, I
and
wonder
he's-
how that happened,
And
everyone.
he's fully missing his
Maybe
leg.
work to get to know the Savvy
his-
Head a bit
his
more, and you
right
might
leg below
learn a
the
bit
knee.
of his history.
Okay.
But for the most part, you can tell he doesn't wear a glove on his left hand, so you can see it.
Right.
But the right leg looks skinny, and the boot that's on the bottom of it doesn't seem to fit properly. And when he walks, it makes a very loud thud.
Okay. All right. I like it.
The want here is in 248. I'm just checking out. I want to make sure we're doing surplus and want correctly. Anxiety. Your people are freaking out and they're becoming paranoid. They're starting to hoard and they fear for their survival. What was the other one? Anxiety and
idle.
And idle.
A lot
They
of people
don't have
die.
anything useful to do with their time. They occupy themselves with whatever seems diverting. They act on their various impulses. So there's some other threats going on, but not only are they starting to hoard things and they're freaking out about the future, they also don't have any jobs. So they're just sitting around right now with nothing to do. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that there's a small army outside that's preventing the people from going out and working the land and scavenging or doing the kind of improvements to the building. They're all just hiding now inside the walls with nothing to do. And when people have nothing to do, well, it means that crime is going to probably start cropping up inside Sanctuary. It's going to make it harder for the patrons. At what point are they the guards at the wall, or are they the police on the street? And what happens when those two lines blur?
So discipline.
You got a little bit here going on. So at the start of our day now, we've got the Savvy Head's working on drafting the blueprints he needs for this gun and figuring out the plan he's going to need in order to get this going. Who would like to? I'd like to just know what your day is starting off, and then we'll start it off from there. I got a couple things that I can get the ball rolling, but first I'd like to know, where are you? What are you doing?
Actually, sorry, just real quickly, because I used hard for that roll earlier.
Go
Does
ahead
that
and mark
count?
experience.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So I've got a thing.
Okay, so Maggie, where are you right now?
So
You're not a regular civilian. If you want to be outside the walls of the Sanctuary, that's okay as well. Like, the civilians are afraid to go, but, I mean, you're an angel, and you're a gun lugger. You don't really have that much to fear, right?
Okay.
It's not like they're at the doors banging them down. They're out in the ruins to the north of Sanctuary, but they've been making your life difficult. Oh, I'll also say, part of the anxiety is because at nighttime, they're revving those battle engines they stole. They're blasting the sound all night long. They're setting off small explosives out in the thing. They're being the noisy neighbor right now, but they're being the noisy neighbor that's got all the guns that they stole from your armory. And so
Laser.
that's part of what's leading to the anxiety of everyone in town. Everyone's on edge because no one's sleeping. Because at nighttime, all they hear is... so, echoing through the caverns of the old
So they
city.
live in
Great.
Toronto.
Fun times. Can confirm. To be
So,
true.
Maggie, where are you this morning?
Okay. So I'm going to assume that in Sanctuary I have a room.
Yes, you
That
have
I-
a room that you have paid 1 barter for.
Yes.
Everyone, knock off 1 barter from your item
Right.
to pay for your lifestyle.
Yes.
The next hour, it's going to cost you 2.
I don't have to.
You don't have to because it's your hardhold. But if you lose control of the hardhold, you have nothing to barter.
Yeah.
Right? You'll be at the mercy of everybody.
Yeah, but I can give stuff out as gifts.
Yeah, as long as you have a hardhold to give
Oh,
gifts
yeah.
from.
As long as I don't, yeah.
Yeah, if your rule is contested or you're knocked off, your character is going to be, well, a little bit like Saruman when he was walking around in the Shire. He's not going to be worth much.
It's great. you just piling shit on, aren't you?
Hey, you want to play, the higher you are, the farther you have to fall. That's all that the hardholder has. You've got a lot of power now, which means you've got the most to lose out of everyone
Guys,
in the
can we
group.
gang up them and
Everyone else can go
that's
off.
a bad idea.
Everyone else can go, this shit's too heavy, I'm going to leave. But you can't because this is
gotta
your
hold it
kingdom.
down.
This
Yeah.
is your ship.
Yeah.
Anyway, Maggie, so
So-
yeah, you've got a place.
So I've got a place. I
If
got
you
my
want,
room.
If you want to spend more than 1 barter, you've got a better lifestyle than most. But at just 1 barter, you got yourself a room, you got clothes, you got food.
Yeah, I've
You're
got what
doing
I
okay.
need, and that's all I need, sort of deal.
Mm-hmm.
So typically in the mornings, what I do is I sort of go through my angel kits and make sure that everything is well stocked and in working order, and just sort of
Yep, nothing's been
inspecting.
damaged, nothing's
Yeah.
dirty.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what I would like to propose, Connell, if it's okay with you, so there was mention from Justin that you would need to be looking for an assistant for your project. I'm an angel. And you're gonna be sticking shit to your arms and stuff.
Well, I mean,
So don't you think maybe it might be a good idea for as an assistant to have?
Okay, so there's our first scene. You're there in your workshop when Maggie comes knocking on your door. And you aren't used to visitors.
yeah, no.
But you and Maggie have got history going back a ways. And she's been
Jean-Baptiste Emmanuel Goldman.
She's been hearing that you've been putting out feelers to the manufacturing wing
Yeah.
of Sanctuary, and she's put 2 and 2 together and go, that fucker's going to try and stick something to his arm again, isn't he?
Again.
Again.
like,
I've
look, if-
successfully grafted a robotic arm to my shoulder, but I'm trying to make improvements to it that could kill
Look.
me.
What you know? If you're
bruise?
gonna do this to yourself again, I want to make sure that you're going to do it safely.
That's very nice of you.
So that's what I'm proposing. So in the mornings, I come and I help you, with whatever it is you're working on.
Okay.
After I've sort of taken a look at my supplies and
Okay.
making sure everything's in order.
All right, so you've got 1 step there to the thankful help of another player. You got 1 step towards your plan, and when it's time to actually, once you've got everything you need, you've got an angel who's going to maybe help make sure you don't like blow out the nerve endings of your arm in the process.
Okay, good.
Or the stump of your shoulder. You're not gonna bleed out. She's offered her equipment. Now that is going to, when that time comes, it's going to spend your stock from your angel kit
Yep.
that you're going to be spending during what is essentially
Just
an
don't
operation.
fuck it up.
I promise nothing. But I will
That's
try.
my favorite type of
So
promise.
while you're both in the workshop, I'll have the chief engineer from the new manufacturing wing that Bishop just opened up, Chief Engineer Moran. She's arriving and she's got some like the whatever they can have, but they're really low on resources right now, and they're expecting a shipment coming in. There's a delivery supposed to be coming in from Orchard, but it was supposed to arrive like 2 days ago. No one's arrived. No one's answering on the radio. Of course, radio hasn't been working that well lately, anyways, because the old gang's out there jamming transmissions.
I was gonna say if I trade trying to repair or upgrade the radio for parts, would that work?
Well, she doesn't have parts to trade, right? Like if you upgrade the radio, that's great, and we'll help you if we can get the caravan.
Okay,
But
yeah.
there's nothing in Sanctuary right now,
Okay.
other than what's necessary to keep the fires burning and the generator and keeping the lights up and making sure that they still have the materials they need to be able to repair the walls if they do come under attack. And everyone's expecting an attack any day now.
Maggie,
Yes.
I need somebody. No, like I mean, having an engineer and a medic on hand while we're doing this is good. I need someone who knows guns,
Okay.
and I've known Kenneth for a very long time,
I am aware.
but I would like if you could pick up the second job of making sure he doesn't kill me.
Sure.
And there's a bit of a sigh from the angel, and we immediately cut to the bar fight that Kenneth is in.
Like a flashback.
Choosing what I do.
It's like a flashback to what happened, and Emmanuel walks out on
Are you saying you're not currently in a bar fight?
Not
I've known him
currently,
for a
no.
long time.
I am slowly.
I know.
What's the word?
Either way, we're immediately cutting to
Okay.
something that you're already in the progress of. And what are you doing this morning?
What are you doing?
That
I'm
is
right-
part of your death wish, because that you've said it.
Drinking.
Well, okay. Well, I'm rifling through what's left of my canned food, and there's not much. So,
How much barter do you have left after you've spent for your lifestyle?
one.
You've only got one. So
Oh my God.
You don't actually have enough for the next hour.
Oh,
so you
shit.
can choose
Well,
to
you
work
told
a
me
gig.
to mark off one because of
Yeah,
the room.
Exactly.
So, yes. So I have one left after that.
In the next episode, you're going to spend. I told everyone spends
Yeah.
2 barter to keep up their lifestyles. One only on the
So
first
you're gonna
session.
need some more food.
So you're
Yeah,
going to need to.
so
you
I'm-
need some jingle, or you need a player who's willing to offer some of theirs, or an NPC who's willing to front for you, or work a gig. There's a bunch of things around. I'm sure the hard holder's got a couple gigs that a strapping young gun lugger can do for him. But either way, you're going through your cans and you're noticing, shit, I don't have enough to get through the week. You're doing okay now, but if things don't change soon, you're going to be out on the streets. You're going to have to start hawking your own wares.
Okay,
Well,
so,
here's the thing that's part of the barter that because I do have a lot of history with.
We can get to that, but I want to know what's going on with Tom. I was just laying
you
some
actually?
anxiety on him, saying he's taking his stuff away.
No, I know,
Oh,
but
good.
but there's the
Everybody's favorite.
This could have been because part of it is that he does if one of the gifts is that I could give a month's worth of hospitality,
Yeah.
including
You
common
haven't-
food.
You haven't done that yet. If you want to do
So
that,
he's
we
still
can do that.
so he is literally as fresh as
Yes.
a day
where
into the
we're
sanctuary.
starting the
Okay.
game narratively. Yes, maybe you gave that gift and the gift is now run out. It's been a month.
So I may not even know he's even in sanctuary yet.
He of course he's in sanctuary, but you
Okay.
don't know that he's running out of shit.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
We're just
fair.
moving
All
in.
right.
We're just having a scene here with Nelson, and I was just going off of your springboarding off of you looking through the cans and reminding you you've only got one barter.
Okay.
So yeah, you're starting to see the end of the road
so,
here.
I'm heading over to the bar area or wherever people congregate, and I'm kind of keeping my ear open. I'm tempted.
The Caesar's
to
Wolf.
Get a drink.
That's what the name of that bar.
Caesar's Wolf. Okay.
Inside a sanctuary, it's the Caesar's Wolf, and the bartender behind it, Andrew.
I'm considering getting a drink, but knowing that I can't really afford it. Trying to keep my ear open for anyone who might have a job that I can take on, but also hearing some things that are starting to really get on my nerves.
Yeah.
We're running low on resources,
Yeah.
and this guy is building a gun arm with all of our.
Yeah, you overhear some of the
maybe.
union workers from the factory going that tech down in the basement is rediverting resources
are
again.
being
We're supposed to be
diverted.
What
building
does
bullets
he
for our
need a gun arm
defenses.
for? I am the guy who uses the guns.
Yeah.
I'm the one who defends this
And
place.
I'm the gun
Who is this
haver.
guy?
Chief Baumgartner and the patron gang that looks after Sanctuary, they need guns too. And so yeah, you're hearing the disgruntled workers in the back of the bar. They're not too
Gun haver.
they're not too happy. And on top of it, there's the shipment that was supposed to come in with more metals and food, and the bartender behind is going I got nothing to go except this old bottle of whiskey that none of you can afford, because the delivery from Orchard hasn't arrived yet, and everyone's going what do you mean you got nothing? It's I have to close up soon.
All right, so I'm going to go to the. I keep forgetting your thing. The hard holder.
Yes.
And
Yeah. Bishop.
Yeah, I'm gonna see what I can work out with him.
Okay, when you come up to Bishop, you're dealing with a lot of different people from the market when Kenneth arrives.
Right. I'm actually. Could I be in my office?
Yeah, you're in your office, but you
Yeah.
got a bunch of people who've been banging on your door, going where's the shipment? What are you doing about the gang? We got the cars running again. You've got word from Moran that they don't have the resources to help out with this tech guy, but he's really pushing on them, and they know he's your friend, so they're trying to give him the help. And a lot of people are coming to you.
Burst in without knocking.
And on top of it, you got Baumgartner, who's your chief of of your guards, your patrons, and
He's the gang leader.
he's the captain. Well, he's the captain since Hastings. He was the captain before. He took the old guard with him. Baumgartner's a younger guy, a little bit more green around the ears, but he's loyal. He stuck it out. So he stayed behind. He's nervous as hell. He's trying to give you a report, but he's getting a lot of the details aren't. He's not remembering things right. He's forgetting exactly how many people there are. He doesn't know what the resources are. He wants to send people out to look for the caravan, but he doesn't think he has the people to spare because they're down to 15. So they don't have. It's taking everything to keep in the work, and on top of it, no one's got any work to do. So we've already had a couple reports of some shoplifting, people stealing from others. Someone stole their kid the other day and started trying to teach them math. It's getting real weird.
No.
It's getting real
Connell,
weird.
what'd you do?
They need to know math. You're doing them a disservice. What kind of parent are you?
It's getting real weird, boss. The whole place is like a pressure cooker, and if we don't open these gates soon and get people back to work, people are going to start eating each other.
I understand that. It's okay. We have it under control. I will do my morning briefing with the town, and we will make sure that everything is going to be okay. We just opened up a new manufactory, so people are going to be working again. But we have to make sure that our defenses are still up. So I will take care of what you need. Leave me the list of resources that you want to be able to acquire, and I will see about getting it done.
There's a move here for interrupting someone, right?
Not so much, but yeah, you can just push your way in. Right now, we
Yeah,
haven't hit a point where we need to do moves. We're just free forming.
Okay. So I'm just gonna walk in the middle of his speech, and then just as if I'm completely oblivious to all of
you
the
cut
people.
Baumgartner off right at the moment. Like, sir, the only thing at the top of this list is this caravan. Without this delivery, and then you walk in.
Yeah. Okay, Bishop.
Nelson, it's good to see
I'm
you.
low on supplies. What do you need me to do?
You're low on supplies.
Yes.
Aw, Nelson, I told you. We need to get you sorted out. Okay, all right. Let me see. What type of gigs do I have available? And I'm start rifling through some reports.
Look, I got a sniper rifle. Do you want me to start picking off people outside the compound?
Yes. Connie,
It's silenced. I can probably take out at least 3 before
Well,
anyone
if someone could
notices.
do anything about that noise during the night, people could get a good night's
I was
rest.
about to ask if
Yeah.
that was something I can be able to sign him to do.
I'm just
Yeah, I
being
can
your
do that
Jiminy
at night.
Cricket in your head.
Yeah. Obviously, you could be able to tell we do have some unwanted. Yes, Con.
Sorry, no. It's just, as you might be looking over those papers, you hear a thud coming down the hallway.
Oh, great.
A little metal on
Thunk.
boot.
And then fucking Dr. Gold leans in through the door. I couldn't help but notice you having a problem. I have an idea.
Well, Dr. Goldman, you are with.
Simon,
You obviously have a knack for coming in at the right time.
You have a lot of ideas, don't you?
I do, Kenneth.
Well, maybe the two of you can be able to help out in a certain situation. Obviously, we have a noise complaint with happening outside our walls, and it's
Yes.
making our citizens anxious.
Yes.
Is there anything that the two of you can do to be able to take care of this unfortunate problem?
Yes, actually. I was thinking that if we have a map of the general area, we know the direction that the shipment is going to be coming in from and where the branch off group is going to be sitting, roughly. We can head in that direction because if the shipment is this late and it's coming from the same direction as the raiders that now exist around in our territory, odds are they've got our resources. If we can deal with them and get the resources back, we hit 2 birds with 1 stone.
I like that idea indeed, and I appreciate
it
when
too.
citizens can stand up for the members of the colony.
And if a player would like to actually draw that map, that's
Well, I was about to say, one of the rangers
Hello, hi,
would
yes.
probably
Yes, hi, hello, yes.
have something.
Yeah, but I mean, and also just as players, we're free to keep drawing maps, keep adding things into it that we can return to later. So if someone would like to draw a map,
go ahead.
I've described it as they're north of the sanctuary in the old ruined city. It's hard terrain. It's difficult to navigate, especially on car. But obviously enough that they're able to get the 2 working. You do have 2 working battle vehicles still in your
Yes.
garage.
Yes.
But they They took one with them out of destroying the 2 that are left, and the scavenged material, they've made their own out there.
So wait, the 2 that are not working are not of the.
They're
from
not
the old
working because they stole parts.
They stole
and they
parts.
stole parts that they
and then they
passed on
stole
to-
another vehicle.
And then they have a vehicle of their own that they've souped up.
Son of a bee with an itch.
With armor and weaponry, and they've created basically like this battle tank out in the city that they're using to generate all that noise, and it's also, I mean, it's not going to be an easy fight if you go and take that tank on directly. Let's put it that way.
Right.
Yeah, they're there's a word for this. They're blockading us.
Okay.
Yeah, you're under siege right
Yeah.
now.
We're under a blockade. Yeah.
blockade.
You've already
Missile
gotten out.
crisis.
It's the first supply hasn't come in yet, and you've already seen things are getting tense. What happens when the second supply doesn't come? And I can tell you, by the third supply, you're going to be dealing with mutiny. You're going to be dealing with people that are like, we got to leave, we got to go. You're going to be dealing with riots. You're going to be dealing with panic.
Yes. Okay.
So this is on you. This is a problem you have to fix.
Okay.
And it was exacerbated when the gunlugger lured in an even bigger gang that met up with the old guard.
Right.
And so now they're calling themselves Old Gang, but this is a gang that's now 50 plus. It's almost half the population of Sanctuary out in the old city, and they want your church.
Okay.
So
I understand. So is this still in the same scene?
Yes.
Okay. I understand, Nelson, our history. We have had some issues in the past. So if you want to be able to make it up to me, I would appreciate it if you do this task for me. And Dr. Goldman, you are allowed to take the fun bus with you.
With the move manipulating an NPC, you are allowed to manipulate a player character, but it's done as a carrot or a stick. On a 7 to 9 on the roll, you can either offer them a +1 forward on their roll, or a negative or a harm if they don't do what you've asked them to. On a 10 plus, you get both of those options.
So I have to roll?
So no, that's only if, like, it sounds like they're receptive to the idea. You're
Yeah,
not
no, I-
manipulating
Yeah,
anyone.
yeah.
They want
This
it. I'm just going into the future. If there's ever a situation where one of you wants a player to do something like, I need you to hide, or I need you to run in there and lay down some cover, and they don't want to do that, you can offer them experience points. Like, here, you go do this for me, like the Savvy
Yeah.
Head, or you can offer them a forward on the roll.
So I guess leadership wouldn't really, as my move right now. Wouldn't be-
Leadership can be used if you want to send your patrons to go back up the players.
Yeah, actually, I do want to send a few patrons. So I call in Baumgartner again,
So-
and I.
He only got 15 people, but he can spare 4.
No, I have more than that.
Okay, I would like to.
You got 15 left in town. Half of them left. Remember, you brought it down to a small gang.
I thought that was after they left. That's what was as far as the story was. That's why it's small.
Yeah, it's a small gang.
Of 15
because-
to 20 people.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we have 15 to 20 people left here.
yeah.
Okay.
So I just went with the lower end of that number just to make it more dramatic and also easier for me to count.
I would like to read a person.
Okay.
Under Sharp, because I want to know if he was implying that he's not
Yes.
going to pay me for this,
So-
or if he's just saying that this is for just something I have to do to.
And I will
repay
say,
him
I'll
for-
let you do this now, but in the future, when you're having conversations with other players and NPCs, roll to read a character at the beginning of the conversation. And then what happens is you then get a number of holds, depending on how good your roll is, that you can then, during the conversation, ask the NPC or ask the player out of character one of your 3 questions. Are you telling me the truth right now? And then they have to answer as the player, no, I'm completely bullshitting you. And then they go back into the, because you're over the course, you're reading all the little languages. Read a situation is done, you get all 3 questions at once. Read a character is designed to ask the questions throughout the conversation. It's okay, it's the first time we're doing it, so
Yeah.
I'll let
Well,
you
how
roll
was I
now.
supposed to
Cool. I like
know
that.
what he was going to say before he says it?
Well, exactly, but maybe you knew you were going in to have a conversation with him and negotiate a job and get a gig. So maybe you wanted to go in like, I want to spend this time while I'm talking with him, I'm also watching his movements.
Okay,
Right?
yeah.
So you get it, and then you just have those questions that you can choose to or not ask during the course of that engagement.
Okay.
So you do it at the
okay.
beginning of a
You
conversation.
didn't know what he was going to say, but you did know you were going to talk to him. Does that make
Okay,
sense?
I guess so.
But by all means, I'm not gonna yuck your yum. Go ahead and roll. And
So I got 6 + 2, 8.
so as an 8, you do get to ask. I think it's 1 question out of that list. That's under the basic moves for read a person. On a 7 to 1, it's 1 for 1. You get to hold 1. So of those questions, what would
does
you
your
like to ask
character
him?
Wish I do. So I want to know if you're planning to actually pay me for this gig, or are you expecting me to do it for free because of
So
our history?
Tom is asking Steve.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
What does Bishop actually wish
yeah.
that Nelson would do?
So you already asked the question?
Yeah.
I am only mentioning it because I want to rebuild our trust. And this will go a long way to doing that. I will pay you,
Okay.
regardless of the outcome.
Yeah. So that's an actual meta game. That is a
Right.
truthful response.
Okay.
There's no duplicity in that response. He will pay you for
Yeah.
doing this job.
Yeah.
And like a regular gig, the default is 3 barter. If you do a really good job, maybe it'll be 4. And if you do a shitty job, maybe it'll be 2. But by default, it's always usually 3.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So you got a job. Do you want to put together a crew?
Do I get experience for them taking that idea that I suggested?
What?
You know what? Absolutely.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey.
That was so subtle. I don't even know what is you suggested.
That we go out and get the supplies.
Oh,
and
Oh no,
everything.
absolutely.
Yeah,
That's subtle.
I
at all.
have an idea.
Yeah.
And I'm
It's
going
just
ahead
like-
with it.
I couldn't help but notice you have a problem.
Because
I'm always going to imagine
you do
whenever you just
have-
pop into a
you have
room that
bone
there is going to be a
feel
puff of
as
smoke
a start of
behind him.
session move. So I do need you to roll for bone
Oh
feel.
shit! Yeah, bone feel.
Yeah. So it'd be the you're already there move.
We just arrive at like their camp, and then you just look over in the distance. You see him already in the camp. Like, wait,
Yep.
what the fuck? How the fuck?
How did he get here? And why is he always covered in smoke?
He's always so slow and loud.
Roll. We got 15 minutes. This is supposed to be done at the beginning, but I don't
8.
care. So on a 7 to 9, you're going to hold 1. You get no forwards on the roll.
Okay.
At any time, either you or I can spend that hold to have you already there with the proper tools and knowledge, with or without any clear explanation. So this is whereas if it was a miss, it would be you're already there and you're captured.
Yeah.
But for this one, you're already there with all the tools you need. So you don't even have to be on this mission. And if things start going like, I really wish our savvy head was there, you'd be like, oh, hi. And then you fire off the tripwire that you've already got set up.
Okay. Well, I would like to propose that Maggie come with us so we don't die.
Yep.
Yeah. And I mean, the patrons can offer some extra muscle if you need. They obviously
Need
can't
shields.
spar the whole guard. They need they need to monitor the people. But he's got some of his rangers that he can send along with you. And he's willing to go himself because he's got a score to settle with Hastings after what he's done
Nice.
to the town. But he doesn't want to miss out on this fight.
All right, let's do it.
All right, so-
Well, can I, because he suggested this, can I still in character respond? Because I have a small issue with bringing our only angel in Sanctuary with you.
Yeah.
Is she your angel though, Bishop?
Well, it's as far as he's considered. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's really up to Cassie.
I
will
feel
only-
like I kind of consider myself a free agent, but I have allied with myself.
Yeah,
to
you've
you
spent
and-
time on the road before
Yeah.
you arrived in Sanctuary.
Yeah,
2 of you go back.
sure.
Makes perfect
As
sense.
long
that you'd
as
want her
there
by your
is,
side.
as long as there is adequate people able to help in your stead while you're away.
You've got 100 people who live. I'm sure
Why
one
don't-
of them is a medic. They're not an angel, but you got a bone saw. You got like you got your like
Great.
country doctor who lives there.
not going to make everyone anxious already.
ready.
Okay,
Why
fine.
don't we call Maggie and ask what she
3
wants?
minutes.
Actually, no, that's Brian Lee.
time.
You got Brian Lee in town, and Brian Lee's like he was the doctor there before the angel showed up. She doesn't have a hospital bed or anything. She's got her kit. She does spend more time out ranging and doing patrols, even after you've arrived in Sanctuary. You've got a medic in town.
I just know that Brian really cares for Maggie, and I know that his countenance and his practice has improved since she's arrived, and I want to, with the sanctuary being as anxious as it is, I'm trying to keep the peace,
Okay.
and having a very anxious doctor does not help.
Okay. I want to move things along to the gig.
Okay.
because we're getting to the last 10 minutes.
Let's go.
So I mean, I appreciate the
Let's-
character, but I also don't want to like kill time for no reason.
Let's
have a
assume
game.
let's assume that we made the agreement that as long as I am with them, they are protecting my ass, basically.
Do you want to offer any orders and offer any leadership to the gang? Do you want to go on this gig and oversee them, or are you going to stay in Sanctuary and oversee the
I
whole...
feel like as a character he has to stay because it's just like
Yeah.
right now everyone is just
That's
super
fine.
anxious.
Not
and-
everyone needs to be in every scene. So
Yeah.
If you leave the city,
that does
opening
not
the
send a
door
good
for all
message
kinds
to
of things.
to the population.
No,
Okay.
no, probably not.
all right. So
But I will roll a leadership for the gang that's going with them.
okay.
So I'm not sending all of them. I'm sending at least 3.
So you're sending 3. Okay,
Yes.
so Baumgartner wants to go. He's got a score to settle with Hastings, and he's
Yes, fine.
you're gonna have staying behind. Harris is gonna stay on the
In
gate.
charge?
He's
Okay.
he's second in command. He's gonna be in charge. He's got the gate.
Harris is-
again.
okay.
You're not a gang leader. You're the hard holder. So
No, I know,
this
I
is
know.
their own gang, and Baumgartner is playing the role of wannabe warlord right now. So Baumgartner, and it's just the turn of the game gives it by default. Baumgartner, Anderson, and Neeson are joining your group, and those 3, they've got their biker gear armor, and they each come equipped with they've got not automatic rifles, they're bolt action and handguns and clubs.
All right.
Because it's the fucking apocalypse, and you've already said money's tight, and they don't have a lot of bullets anyways.
All right.
But they've all come with they've got their own motorcycles that they can head out, and there are 2 battle-ready vehicles to use if you want to take those out into the old city.
We're not taking the fun bus.
They're taking the fun bus.
One of them is the fun bus. It's more armored. It's designed for like carrying a lot of people and goods. And then there's a smaller one that's armed and it's got weapons on it, but it's more built for speed and scouting. And I don't know. We got the fun bus is the big one. What do we want to call the smaller vehicle?
Fun small bus.
The fun
Short
V.
bus.
The fun V. Yes.
The fun V, yes.
Or if it's the fun bus, then the smaller one can be called the humdrum V.
Drum V.
Humdrum V.
I like it. Can I roll for leadership for the?
Of course,
what's going on?
Baumgartner's just called it Sanctuary 1 and Sanctuary 2.
Yeah, he's just that's what he is. Okay. Oh wow. Okay, I don't even need to add hard to it. I've got 11.
Oh.
Okay, so you're offering some leadership to them, eh?
Yes.
What is that going to manifest as?
In character or like
You order your gang to advance, regroup, hold position, hold discipline, or put their backs into it. You can also do this over the radio when things go and hit the fan,
Yeah.
because you're still going to have radio contact with them. On a hit, they'll do it. On a 10+, they snap 2 and take +1 forward. On a miss, they'll do it, but you'll hear about it later. So, I mean, was there something specific you wanted them to do now? Or do you want to just get a forward, like...
It's just more of like this is an encouragement to them to make sure keep these 3 alive.
Okay, so that's their orders. Keep these 3 alive.
Keep these 3 alive.
Do you want them to capture Hastings, or do you want them to kill Hastings?
Wanted dead or alive.
Okay. All right. So they're your target. Baumgartner definitely he's got his finger.
Alive if reasonably
Trigger
practical.
Yes, alive. So we can get information from them, probably from Pity.
I actually have another idea.
Okay.
Oh,
he's got an idea.
Are you heading out on the road with them, Connell? Yeah. So Goldman. So as the 3 of you are on your way out, you've got an idea while you're in the humdrum V. So the car, you're heading off into the old city when you have an idea. Now we're in the car. We're in a new scene.
Okay, so they obviously have an entrenched position wherever it is that we're going. And if they have an entrenched position and they've got numbers on us, so I was thinking that one of the things that you use when you are outnumbered and outflanked, or at least we have the option of surprise, is we could use explosives. But I don't want to destroy all of the resources that they may potentially have picked up from the supply caravan that was supposed to come in. Odds are they probably have all of our stuff still in crates and or whatever. I was thinking if I could, I brought along some kind of gas bombs made from waste around the compound.
Yeah, you've been collecting from the sewage.
Yeah, I've been collecting and refining
sump
sewage
pumps?
to make like
Poop bombs.
to make these like pipe bombs or
Yeah, but
poop
they're like
bombs.
highly,
bombs,
but they're
yes.
like these they're highly explosive concentrated methane bombs using methane and fertilizer.
Oh no.
So
That's
So
wonderful.
gas grenades is,
Yeah.
is what I was gonna be
we
like.
smoke them out with the gas bombs, and I can snipe them when they escape.
Yep. And then you guys get into position, and basically I'll just fog them out, and then you mow
Okay.
them down as I fog them out of the base. Does that
Okay,
sound cool?
so you guys are going to set that up. We're going to start the next episode there. Because it's going to take about a few hours to get out to where the encampment is as you navigate quietly in a stealth way. And we're going to start the next episode with that gig.
Can I use the hold that I got from Bonefield to say that I've got those grenades with me? Because I got to roll again at the beginning of the next episode.
Yeah. Yes. There you
'Cause
go.
I've got that one
There's your
hole.
bone field.
I was just like-
They all go down to the car. You're already there, and you got grenades in the
I
trunk.
was like, hey, so I had another idea.
Are you bringing your full angel kit in the humdrum V?
Dude, we've got a vehicle, right?
Yeah, so you can put it
I'll
in the
just
trunk.
bring the whole thing.
Yeah, that's fine. So you're
Yeah.
bringing. So you got a mobile
Wait.
medic base with you, just in case things require it. They totally will.
I would also like to just point out, as a matter of interest,
Now, because you're taking the humdrum V and not the
that's-
fun bus, the three
love that we're
guards are
sticking
going to be
with
on the
this.
outside of the car, and the three of you are going to be the inside of the car.
Oh, you're not taking the fun bus?
We're taking both. You
Oh, you're
said.
taking both?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said we're taking both.
Okay, who's in the humdrum V?
I thought we could all fit in the fun bus.
You can all take it on the fun bus, but it sounded like someone wanted to take the humdrum.
we were all going to get into the fun bus, but then you were like, you're going to take two vehicles because we got the three people coming with us. And I was like, well, if he's just going to call it Sanctuary 1 and Sanctuary 2, then he can ride in the humdrum vehicle.
Okay, so the three of you are in the fun bus, and the guards are
Fucking-
in the humdrum.
Yeah, whatever.
Captain Cancel Fun and the Buzzkill kids. Can just go
My
ahead
new
and ride.
ska band. That's what I'm calling it.
Guys, he's got a
was it,
manual,
Captain?
okay? He's got a manual.
The cancel fund?
Captain Cancel Fun and the Buzzkill
All right.
kids can ride. in the
As you
humdrum
all leave and you're setting up your ambush onto the encampment, we come to the end of this episode. You're still back at Sanctuary.
Bye. Have fun.
Yeah. We go
Be safe.
Be safe.
An hour later.
You also please be safe.
Was it? It was Harris who stayed behind.
Yes.
Lieutenant Harris comes up, and he's going like, "Scouts have spotted a panel van coming in. We think it's the caravan. We think it's the carrier, and it's coming in from the west, which is not the direction they normally come in, but we see them coming in down the old highway." And it's just coming in a straight line. It hasn't turned since it's arrived. It's just been coming over. It's going to arrive at the gates in a few minutes. You guys are already gone. As you're watching, you're on the outside, and you just see the car coming. Or it's like a FedEx van. It's like one of those like post.
A box van.
It's a box van, but it's the ones that are modified like to be like a mail carrier with the one
Yeah.
side open.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's coming around and it's bouncing and it hits a rock and it goes sideways and it's getting faster and faster and it just slams into the outer wall. It comes and it crashes.
Son of
And as you go out, because I'm just going to script it out as we go to the end, as you go out with your scouts, you open up the gate to go around to the car. There's no driver in the seat, but when you lift up the back of the van and Harris does that, he throws up as soon as he does that. And in the back are just heads, just people's heads, just stacked all inside the van. None of them seems to be the delivery guy. You have no idea where his name is Corbett. And all you see are these heads, but none of them.
Corbandales.
But it's hard to tell.
You got a sword
It's
through
hard to
before
tell.
you find out there's no Corbett.
Well, there's not a whole lot of. I mean, we're
Oh
talking.
god, it's full of heads, boss. Are any of them the delivery guard? What? I know you're throwing up, but I need you to say.
You're right. Maybe one of the heads is Corbett, but there's no body. There's no sign of the driver. There's no sign of your delivery. There's no sign of your food. There's no sign of your materials. All there are
Well, at least we
is
got
a
something to eat.
pile of heads, and they look fresh, and they're in the back of the van.
See, there you go. It's fresh.
I
think it's time.
I yell at.
I think it's time to call down the brainer, don't you?
I think it's definitely
What
time
the
to call down
heck is the
brainer.
brainer gonna do?
I'm gonna touch
We're
these
gonna
faces.
find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
She might be able to do that.
Best up.
So join us next week where Bree Poison joins the cast.
Bree, we got some news for you.
We've got an ambush.
Got a crazy job.
We got an ambush on the old gang. We've got a delivery that's never arrived. We've got a missing delivery man. And what happened to Orchard, where that van came from? We'll find out next time on Apocalypse World. My name is your Master of Ceremonies. I'm Justin Eacock, and I have been surrounded here by my Warriors of the Apocalypse. The Savvy Head.
I am Savvy Head, Toronto's greatest supervillain and evil genius, Dr. Tarawat.
And the Gunlugger.
Hi, I'm Tom. He is an evil genius. Wait, not the evil genius here, but the other evil genius, I guess. It's a weird reference thing. And from Weird Video Games, and I'm playing the Gunlugger, and I'm having a great time.
And the Hardholder with way too much on his plate.
I'm Steve Saylor, or known on YouTube as the Blind Gamer, and son of a bee with an itch.
And our Angel.
Hi, I'm Cassidy 20Love and I am playing the angel Magnolia Stone.
And until we meet you again next time, take it away, Justin. The Terrible Warriors has new episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. And we will return to Sanctuary next Tuesday and every Tuesday of this month. And on Thursday, we continue our mega game of Apocalypse World with the Edmonton storyline. How are things going for them over there? I'll see you on Thursday. And at the end of this month, both the Tuesday and Thursday storylines will meet in Hamilton, Ontario at Con Bravo. The exact time is yet to be determined. We'll let you know as soon as they tell us. But you can buy your weekend pass to Con Bravo right now at conbravo.com. This is the first time we've done a live show. It's the first time we've brought both Toronto and Thursday crews together. And we're all kind of nervous and hoping that people will actually show up. And of course, none of this would be possible without our supporters on Patreon at patreon.com/terriblewarriors. Thank you for your continuing support. And if you don't have the jingle to spend, that's fine too. Just subscribing and sharing and telling your friends about the show. Word of mouth marketing, that can't be given a price tag. Thank you so much for the support you've given to the show. We're really looking forward to this finale. We're looking forward to our summer break. But we are really looking forward to the new games we've got in store for you in September. You can find out more about those things we've been teasing you about on Twitter at Dice Warriors. And today's Terrible Warriors were Steve Saylor, Cassie Chu, Connell Macbeth, Tom White, and Justin Eacock. And we will return to Sanctuary and to the Apocalypse World. Oh, I think we're gonna need the brainer for this. Bree Poison returns next week. And you, I hope to see you again, here on the Terrible Warriors.